It's Dumb Guy Live, everybody. I'm here with a spaceman. He's
Let's go.
I don't know what that was. That was pretty cool, dude.
It's dumb.
That was pretty cool. Icon 115 says it's the best part of Tuesday.
Thank you.
Matthias says it's time. It's Dumb Guy Live time. The final countdown. Dumb Guys are live. We got a $5 super chat from Pylons. Dumb Guy Live. You're so right, dude. You are so right about that. We are definitely Dumb Guy Live.
I was just doing a Fuminori Abe impression.
Oh, because you're an astronaut. I get it. Very good. Did you also read the chat? Was that okay? Good. That's where you got that from. Good. No, we are missing Jamie, unfortunately, tonight. He is in España, and he's doing España things over there.
Why does Jamie get his actual reason, but I get these ridiculous reasons you make up?
What do you mean? I always give your actual reason for why you're gone. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, I won't be there here next week, so I'll give my actual reason. So, you know.
I might mute you if you try to talk about it. But
it's my college orientation.
Yeah, he's going to Liberty University. Actually, he's going to Northwestern. He's going to be on the football team. We got a $2 super chat from Darren Kagi. Smart guy taped? No, silly. It's Dumb Guy Live. You're so right, Darren. That's a good ass joke. That's fire as hell. Jamie says he'll be here at some point. We'll see about that. You fucking freak. We'll see about that. So, okay, everybody. Murph, how you doing today?
I'm living the dream. Ready to talk some G1?
Yeah, we're going to talk some G1. That's the big thing for today is the G1. It's the biggest, like, outside of Wrestle Kingdom, it's the biggest thing in Japanese wrestling every single year. The G1 Climax kicks off this weekend. I think it kicks off in Hokkaido or something like that. It's like something.
It's always usually Hokkaido, so that makes sense.
So that's where we're kicking things off.
It's the 15th, so four more days.
4 more days. It's going to kick off this Saturday, the 15th. And the main event of the show is really wacky. It's Sonata versus Hikuleo. Let's get into the actual shows this weekend in a little bit, Murph. Let's just talk about.
But I'm just going to say that doesn't really surprise me because he's a hometown guy. That's Sonata's hometown.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. But I mean, out of everybody in the block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is we're just going to go through. We're going to go through the blocks. We're going to talk about predictions, talk about who we think is going to win each one, all that type of stuff. And then thank you all in the Discord. You all provided questions for us to answer about the G1, and I'm going to be running through those as well. That's going to be the bulk of our show. We will be talking TJPW Summer Sun Princess, their second or third biggest show of the year, generally speaking, was Ota Award, main evented by a main event that between Mizuki and Ito that a lot of people are raving about. We'll preview a little bit of the Princess Cup. We'll talk a little bit about Ganbare. We'll talk a little bit about King of Gate. If we remember, we'll talk a bit about Noah. If we remember, some big happenings in Noah as well. So
Keno's blue now.
I know. I just watched Blue Keno match. He and Kaito did double team moves. It was pretty cute. But we are going to stuck. I don't know what this means. What is?
I love it. You could honestly.
What is that?
It's like the like the chops, like what Kenny had.
Oh, okay.
You honestly could.
I could probably do the chops. Maybe I'll do the chops. It is summer. I don't have to look like anything in summer. I do have to look professional during the school year.
You gotta bring the stash back. That was.
Well, I'm working on it. The stash is coming. It's it'll be a month or so, but it'll be there. All right. Let's get going on this. Let's get started. So let's run through I think it's a good idea to just run through the blocks, Murph, and just go block by block and think about who we think the contenders are in each block. So
we're going to do the yes, they have a chance. No, they don't. Again, like we did for Best of Super Juniors. Like
let's do that. Let's do that. So block A, and this is just to win the block. This is not to win the whole tournament. All right. Sonata, Chase Owens, Hikuleo, Ren Narita, Shota Umino, Yota Tsuji, Gabriel Kidd, and coming from Pro Wrestling Noah, the Supernova Kaito Kiyomiya. I love this block. This block is awesome to me. And you have muted yourself for some reason. There we go. We're back. You're so mad. Smile, bro. We're doing the show. No, okay. So to me, this feels like, and keep in mind, it goes quarterfinals, semifinals, finals now because there's 4 blocks. So the top 2 in each block advance to the elimination.
I would say, personally,
Mhm.
I think Sonata has a chance of going to that.
Mhm.
We're just going to say has a chance of going to the block final. I think Sonata has a chance. I think Kaito Kiyomiya has a chance. I think Narita, Tsuji, and Umino all have a chance. Outside of that, I don't think so.
Don't think Owens has a chance. I would say Hikuleo like a small chance because sometimes they'll have like a Fale or so. Like he's the new Fale, right?
Gabe Kidd, no chance.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd doesn't have a chance, unfortunately. He's just not pushed to that level. He's also a tag champ, and they're actually kind of fine beating tag champs in New Japan, so won't be him. But my predictions for this block, I'm with you on who has a chance. I'm thinking definitely Kiyomiya. Like without a doubt, he's my lock of this block. He might not win the block, but he'll make it to.
I think Kiyomiya versus Shota is going to be my prediction.
Yeah, I was thinking Shota or Sonata was my other thought. Obviously, it would be weird for the IWGP Heavyweight Champion to not make it to the final 8, right? So that's kind of my only real thought there on that. But yeah, I will.
I would be surprised like a 30-minute draw like stops him from doing it. So.
For sure, yeah, it'd be crazy if he did like a draw with Tsuji or someone like that.
Yeah.
And Tsuji is the guy who like kind of has his number or something. I think they could do some really good dynamics.
Also,
there.
You have to set up a King of Pro Wrestling, defense. So you need.
Yep, and there's so many choices they could do. I mean, they could do Hikuleo. I'm like,
I don't know if they're doing Destruction Tour this year. But if they are, like sometimes, they have someone defend there. But usually it's only one more defense till the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, they'll do one, and then maybe they might do like one in America or something like that.
I think, gun to my head, I think Sonata goes to the Dome. I think Sonata.
Yeah, I do too. I think
if you made it through Dominion, I think you make it to the Dome.
They just haven't. So we got Anjan and Deathblade saying they are doing the Destruction Tour, but they
the old names are back. The last couple of years have just confused me.
Summer Struggle.
Yeah, they went back to Sakura Genesis, then then the Destruction, and then then the King of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, so that's always good. The now I think we should talk about who we think the most likely person to beat Sonata in this block is. To me, this is really tough.
I say Tsuji, Tsuji or Hikuleo.
I'm gonna say he goes to a draw. I
don't think Hikuleo wins it in his hometown, so that's why I don't think Hikuleo will win. So I say Tsuji.
I might say he goes to like a draw with Tsuji. It'd be weird if they had him lose again, and then maybe they do another title match, and it's like a rubber match or something, but that'd be a lot of Tsuji and Sonata because it's just so rare for the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion to get pinned.
It drew well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did it.
I also have to note, I know I have to note this. Hey friends, I won't be able to super chat for a while since I have now unemployed, but keep up the I assume you meant God or the good work done.
God, honestly.
I'm so sorry about that. You know what? I hear NXT is hiring. I hear NWA is hiring. So maybe
I hear MLW is hiring too. Also, Home Depot always needs custodians. All these elementary school. You could definitely be a custodian somewhere else.
We love you, custodian BPJ. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Shota.
Could be Ren.
Sonata. It could be Ren. I'm going to say Shota beats Sonata and is the title match because there's always like, especially if it's like Okada who ends up winning the G1, there's always, you can always have that thought of like, oh man, what if it's Okada versus Shota for the title at the Dome or something? You would want it to be somebody who actually has like kind of a chance to main event the Dome. And I think out of this block, Shota is the most likely. Okay, let's move on to block B. By the way, I just like, really quickly before we move on, I love that block A so much. I love that they put the Reiwa Musketeers all in the same block with Kaito, with Sonata, the IWGP champion. So they're getting big matches in there. Obviously, Hikuleo and and Chase Owens is like take it or leave it or whatever. But all the interactions between the people I just mentioned are going to be great. Okay, Block B: Kazuchika Okada, Yoshihashi, Taichi, Kenta, Great Okan, Will Ospreay, Tonga Loa, and El Phantasmo. So out of this one, out of this one,
it's Okada Ospreay.
It's Okada Ospreay. It would be stunning if it was anybody else. It will not be Taichi. It will not be Kenta. It will not be Okan.
Maybe ELP. It'd be weird, but maybe. But I don't.
This feels like this feels like by far the easiest one to pick. Now, it will be interesting to see who beats Okada. Because he's always a big target in these tournaments too.
ELP,
and for that would be huge to have ELP beat Okada.
I think he does.
Well, what they might do is just have Ospreay beat Okada, and then somebody else beats Ospreay because Ospreay isn't predicted quite to that level.
He's a champ though, so you have to see someone you set up a match with.
Oh man, that feels like Kenta is gonna beat Ospreay, and they're gonna do a U.S. title match or Tonga Loa.
Kenta's so awful. Yeah. It's like sad. Like he sucks. So when is the last time Kenta had a great match? I would say Tanahashi at the Dome last year. Am I wrong?
In terms of singles matches, yeah. I want to say he had a Sabre match in there that was really good. But I mean, he can't do it no more. It's just what happens sometimes. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have it. I don't know what else to say about the Kenta. Couple fun things in here. Okan has a couple big first-time matches. I don't think he's ever faced Okada, and I don't think he's ever faced Ospreay either because they're stablemates and they don't wrestle each other. So I think that's enjoyable. I'm not the biggest Okan fan, but he is the British heavyweight champion, so they could definitely have like El Phantasmo beat him, and then that's a British heavyweight title match, right? And yeah, outside chances of like ELP and Tonga Loa beating Ospreay too. I mean, I don't think Tonga Loa is quite as bad as a lot of people do.
But his brother's terrible, and Tonga Loa is even worse.
Tonga is not terrible. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, he's not. Oh, he lost the title to Oku. I didn't realize that. I just assumed he was retaining. Okan lost the title.
Good on Mike
this weekend. Put it on Michael Oku. So never mind. So anyway, that will not set up British Championship matches. But yep, Okada Ospreay. This is like I said, clearly the easiest one to pick. It would be a stunner if either of them are not the two that advance. Block C. The headliner is David Finlay. Tomohiro Ishii, Evil, Tama Tonga, Shingo Takagi, Aaron Hinare, Eddie Kingston, and Mikey Nichols.
This is another easy one for me.
Shingo and Finlay. Yep. I agree. They could do Kingston.
No, I don't see it. No chance.
They could. I mean, he's the strong champ, and they could do fucking Tama Tonga again. If you'll recall, Tama Tonga won his block last year.
I'm scared about this Eddie Kingston G1 run. I'm a bit worried about it. I don't know. That's a lot of matches, and Eddie Kingston is not the most conditioned wrestler. Like I want it to go great, but I'm just a little apprehensive on like towards the end how good Eddie Kingston really will be, how banged up he'll be. Like he's an injury prone. I mean, he's injury prone, and like he would tell you, he's not the most conditioned. Like it just scares me. I hope it goes really well.
Yeah. I think it'll be fine. Thankfully, it's just 7 matches. It's not like a 9-match one. That's a big difference there. I mean, that's a real difference. I think Finlay is pretty much a lock in this one to come out of the block, and then I think Shingo's the most likely, but I would not put it past him to put Tama Tonga in that spot. Again. Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's some good matches here, like the Ishii, Shingo, and Kingston triumvirate is just going to lead to so many great matches. anytime you get Ishii and Shingo in the same block, those are the two guys in the G1, it feels like, who just always elevate a match no matter what, no matter who it's against. And even if some of the other wrestlers in here aren't spectacular, like Mikey Nichols, like Evil, I think those guys can do more than enough. Obviously, I mean, Shingo had that classic with Aaron Hinare earlier this year, right? And so they're doing the rubber match here. I mean, maybe Hinare gets his win back, but this is kind of a it's weird. Like I'd say this is like a work rate block. I mean, they do have Evil in there, but I think Evil has been way more tolerable over the last 6 months or so than he was previously. It's mostly just it's comedy at this point. It's not heat. It's just it's he's wacky. So I think that's way more tolerable. And then Finley's got to get somebody in the chat can tell me what the Yoshigoroshi finisher is called that he has. He needs to get that thing over because the crowd never buys that it's the finish. He made it to the finals of the New Japan Cup and he won it with that every single match. I don't think he stinks, but I also don't think he's.
He doesn't stink, but he stinks as a Bullet Club leader. He's not that guy.
That's my. I don't think he's.
That's my take. It's like if what's it called? They made Brandon Cutler the leader of the Elite. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. If this was me, I'd probably punt on him, and I'd have the War Dogs like beat him out of it, or maybe he loses in the quarterfinals or something, so he doesn't even make the Final Four. And
they should pull a Mogul affiliates and say like like what they did to Parker and Trent.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna say obviously Finley. Yeah, and I'll say Shingo. They do protect him really well at this point in his career. Okay. Block D. Tanahashi, Naito, Hiroki Goto, Zack Sabre Jr., Toru Yano, Jeff Cobb, Shane Haste, and Alex Coughlin are the final 8.
Zack and Tana.
Not Naito? I don't know, man. A lot of people really think Naito's winning this whole thing.
What?
Yeah, he's probably the most common pick I've seen to win this whole thing. Yeah, seriously. People in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but there's a lot of people who think Naito's winning, and we're getting.
I could look like an idiot right now, like if I'm saying that. Like, he wasn't even my top 5.
The Scouse bastards watching and saying that Naito is the favorite for the whole thing.
I want to preface this by I'm a low man on Naito, so like this is
Murph's a Naito hater for some reason.
I'm not a Naito hater. I don't think he's one of the best in the world. That would make sense. So says yes. Tana is kind of washed now, so we'll say Zack and Naito.
Yeah, I think Naito would be pretty shocking to not make it. I don't think it's going to be Tanahashi.
For me, I'm sorry. We'll pretend that never happened. We'll say Zack and Naito. Pretend.
That's fine. It's all good. I'm going to say Naito for sure. I don't really think Tanahashi is borderline no chance for me, unfortunately. Like, he's just. This is finally like I've resisted so much. People are like, oh man, his knees are shot or whatever. And it's like he just always comes back and has great matches. But this is the first year where I've finally been like,
it's been a rough year.
Maybe it's finally his time.
He had a bad Toronto weekend.
Yeah, where he becomes one of the dads instead of being one of the main event talents. Which there's no shame in that. Yuji Nagata became a new. His last G1 was like 7 years ago, and.
Tenzon's been gone for years.
Yeah, and Nagata was Triple Crown champion this year. So there's no shame in that. I would love it. Tanahashi Triple Crown.
Suzuki doesn't even do the G1 anymore.
Yeah, Suzuki hasn't done. Yeah, and so I think that's fine. I think it's between Sabre and actually Cobb for me. They do protect Cobb really well. Obviously, he had that run. Was it just last year that he had that run, or was it 2 years? It was last year, right?
Yeah.
He went undefeated until Okada. Mm-hmm. They do protect him really well, and he's had kind of a quiet year. So
where's Fale?
Fale does the Fale dojo, and that's it.
Does he just not come to Japan anymore? Because he hasn't been on any he's been gone.
Not really. Yeah, no, not really. He trains Michael Richard or whatever.
The bald dude.
Yeah, the bald dude in that Young Lion Cup who nobody knew.
Has anybody actually watched this Tamashi shows? I hear nothing about them.
No, nobody watches that shit. You can. They have a Bullet Club.
Gino
They do.
Gambino.
There's like Mick Moretti in it or something. I don't know.
Gino Gambino leading his Bullet Club shopping.
Yeah, he's like, "Hi there, Kevin Killy." I don't watch English commentary on New Japan anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go Cobb. I'm gonna go Cobb in this one. Tanahashi, or sorry, Naito and Cobb coming out of there.
I'll go
So
Saber. Naito and Saber.
Naito and Saber. Fairs. That's who I was deciding between. So we have. Now let's get into like just who we think is going to win it. It's really hard to pick who's going to be like, who's going to make the final four, because it's like block A winner versus block D second place or something. Actually, it's block A winner versus block B second place. So that's when they're going to do Kaito versus Okada almost certainly. And so the rest of this is just who do we think is going to win the whole thing.
Caveman Uggs and Tamashi.
Caveman Ugg.
He had like a PWG.
Yeah, we both said the same. And they were going to do, I've said this on the show before, but they were going to do him versus Barbaro Cavernario, and they were going to do Caveman match.
You,
and then he couldn't make it. I know. Well, I don't even think it was COVID. I think he just couldn't make it or something. Yeah, so final answer. Who's winning this thing? Who's going the dome?
This is a tough one. It really is. It's the toughest G1 to predict in a long time.
Really, really tough.
I'm going to go with my gut. And I'm going to say Will Ospreay.
As the U.S. champion?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm going with my gut, and I'm saying Will Ospreay.
Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know. I love Naito. I'm baffled at your...
I don't hate Naito. What's clear there?
Just sometimes skepticism of him.
I just don't think that. I just like when I think of like the best New Japan wrestlers. I think of Shingo before Naito.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Naito's like BT. There's like the top 5, and then there's Naito. Naito's amazing. He's a great wrestler, but I just don't consider him one of the best. That's what I say. But it's for me, it's Ospreay.
If I was booking as a fan, what I would do is have Kaito beat Sonata in the block, lose to Okada in the elimination rounds. Okada wins the G1, and then Kaito wins the IWGP World Heavyweight title from Sonata at King of Pro Wrestling or something like that. You hate that. Why?
I want Sonata to go to the Dome.
You don't want him versus Naito?
No, Sonata's my favorite.
Sonata and Ospreay always botch against each other.
Well, maybe at the Dome they'll be fine.
The last time they wrestled, Ospreay broke his fucking face. Remember that?
Well, he's not going to do it again. So it's like kind of wish casting, but like I think Ospreay is going to win. Like he has too much momentum behind him right now.
To me, Naito feels very uninspired. To win this year,
feels like out of nowhere. What has Naito done all year?
Yeah, he's just practically nothing. He's just kind of wrestled around.
Also, I have a bad taste in my mouth because Naito shit the bed in Toronto. So I mean, that's why I just have a terrible taste in my mouth. When he came out in the shirt, I was like, "Come on!" I was expecting like Naito.
He did wear a T-shirt. That was
pissed
funny.
off. I was like, "This is like promotional malpractice." I didn't sign up for a T-shirt Naito.
That was pretty funny. They could always go outside the block, outside the box with one of the young guys. They could do Shota. They could do Ren. They went completely outside the block with the best of the Super Juniors this year. So they have shown at least a willingness to not book so conventionally like they always have. It's really hard for me to pick. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna say Okada. It's kind of safe.
What's your final?
And also, well, my final would be Okada.
Shingo and Ospreay.
I don't know. Yeah, you could do. Gosh,
slam dunk Shingo and Ospreay.
If it was Okada, yeah, Shingo and Ospreay is a great final. It was the best of the Super Juniors final, obviously. They're also
that was ridiculous. They're like
wait, actually, it won't be Shingo versus Ospreay, by the way, because they're doing that match at All In, or at not at All In, at the Rev Pro show before All In. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they are.
That would be
maybe
weird.
That's not out.
I think
I
it
sure
is
hope.
out.
Okay, that's good. So
Or did Chuck tell it? I don't know.
I can't remember if Chuck told us, but yeah. In any case, it probably won't be Osprey Shingo.
That was the most ridiculous Best of Super Juniors final, and they were like both 225, and they were doing.
It was awesome, dude. I loved it, and I did not think Osprey was going to win, and I was such an Osprey stan. I was
awesome.
so excited when he won. One of the best matches like ever.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm gonna say
it was my second best match of the year that year.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say Okada Naito. That's a dome main event, and that's the that's a past one, and so that's a worthy G1 final. Their careers have kind of been interlocked. Naito's always been kind of the number 2 to Okada's number 1, and I think if I'm going with Okada, I think it's a good final. Yeah, okay, all right. So Okada for me. Who'd you go? Osprey for you? All right, neither of us.
Fucking Osprey.
I would love Will Osprey. He is my favorite wrestler in New Japan,
when
and
Don Callis shows up on the G1 final, cinema.
There are a lot of matches that make sense for Shingo just to be in the final 8. So I'm
you
feeling
see, in a perfect world,
yeah.
I would book Shingo to win, but Shingo's not going to win. I would cut off my hand for a Shingo World Cup, a Shingo G1 win.
I mean,
but
if they want like a fucking incredible, like that's what people were saying. If you recall, there was like a kind of minor, but there was a contingent that when Ishii beat Omega in the G1 that year and then had the title match, there was a contingent that was like Ishii should win the title and main event the Dome against Tanahashi. And I think Shingo is in a similar, although he's even more protected than Ishii was. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say Okada.
Kenny that second half. Some people just hated.
Yeah, it was preposterous. It was like way too much. Like he was great.
That's when like the New Japan Mecca just hated Kenny. Mm-hmm. So, like that was a weird time. That was a really weird time in wrestling. But
yeah, and I wasn't as tuned into like the online stuff, so
I wasn't on Twitter. That's one of my biggest.
Well, you were also a child. I also like but like after the fact that because
I was like, on Reddit. I wasn't on Twitter.
I was just excited for AEW. I was like, cool. This is great.
This is some floor. I was I didn't want AEW to happen in October, like when it came out. I wanted them to go to the WWE. And I say it all the time. I wanted them to go. But I'm so happy they didn't. Well, I mean, they are
obviously
soon. They are soon, but I mean, at the time I'm so happy they didn't.
They're not going to WWE. I'm just gonna let everybody know that.
Be gone.
Okay, let's go to some questions, shall we? From Diego, we touched on this a little bit. What are your expectations for Kaito? Like, you obviously think he's going to make it out of the block.
Before we do that, that was a great match. That 3-way with Rhodes, Bushi, and Omega. That's my big. I've never disagreed with a take more. That match.
No, yeah, awesome. I thought that match was great.
That match
was awesome,
tremendous. When people said they just hated that match, that was the most like. If you don't like the match, but now it's like considered to be like not a good match, which I feel like that's revisionist history in my opinion.
People want it to be just Omega Bushi, a lot of it too.
Why would you do Omega Bushi at King of Pro Wrestling? It never made any sense. Like,
All right.
Questions.
So we talked about this a little bit, but just general expectations for Kaito Kiyomiya. Like, do you think he's going to show up and show out? Do you think he's going to live up to the expectations as Noah's either top or number 2 guy, depending on how you see it?
He's a really good wrestler.
Go Shiozaki. Yeah. Really I think he'll be great. He's got some really motivated people to wrestle against to make it exciting. Like him versus Tsuji is so intriguing to me. Just big, just like not something like kind of anybody versus Tsuji is intriguing to me at this point. I think you and I are like.
Let's go down the list. I think he's going to have a great match with Sonata, a great match with Umino, a great match with Narita, a shitty match with Hikuleo, a shitty match with Chase Owens, a fun match with Yota Tsuji, and probably a pretty good match with Gabe Kidd. So really, it'd be really dumb if he didn't do that great.
Really looking forward to him. I don't know if this is generally speaking or just in the G1, but who between the new 3 Musketeers? These are all from Diego.
Oh, Diego.
Who between the new 3 Musketeers will be more pushed?
Umino.
What do you think? Think Umino? Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels number 1 Umino, number 2 Tsuji, number 3 Narita right now. That could always change, but that feels like the hierarchy to me. And by the way, if you guys want questions to be asked, keep those super chats coming. All right.
Super chats.
Naito versus Sonata would be a Tokyo Dome main event level match. He says. I mean, yeah, I think so.
I agree,
think
but
so.
I just don't want it. That's what I'll say.
Okay, we talked about this a little bit. What would you do to if we wanted to just make Bullet Club straight war dogs, right? Who would you have replace Finley as the leader? You could pick like Coughlin or Gabe Kidd, or you could have somebody who's not really involved do it. Like what would you think?
Honestly, I would just go back in time and make ELP the leader, not Finley. But if it's anyone, I'd probably say Gabe. Probably of that options, I'd say Gabe's probably the best. I don't know. I what Gaijin do they have that they could like make the leader?
Yeah, that's the thing is like they're all their Gaijins are ex Bullet Club.
All their Gaijins are signed to
So-
AEW.
So yeah, and they're all signed to AEW. Like it's
I mean, you could make it like the Bullet Club era where you could just be like they're all equal. You know, it doesn't need to be a leader.
Yeah. You could have you could have like one of the LIJ heavyweights move over to Bullet Club. You could, Naito, Tsuji, or Shingo. They could do that. We've never gotten heel Shingo in New Japan, and that was what he was known for in Dragon Gate. That'd be kind of interesting because the War Dogs. I mean, they cheat a little bit, but they're mostly just like bad guys, right? They're not really. But and you could also just do
we've gotten babyface Shingo. We've gotten ORI Gate Shingo.
I actually kind of like the idea. IDK kind of put this. I was kind of thinking about this too.
Yeah.
I would love just having the four just like swarm Finley and just like jump him out of the group, and then it's just like
they can get more guys. Like they can get guys from like a Michael Oko.
Right. Like we four are Bullet Club, and we don't need a leader. And then you can promote both Coughlin and Kidd as upper mid card heavyweights, which I think that's where they belong to, kind of.
I agree.
Okay, Adrian, one of our most loyal listeners, how do you think Eddie will fare? You kind of talked about this.
I don't want to make a prediction because I think it could go either way.
I think he'll do great. I think he's going to be so motivated to just put on the best tour of his life that I think it's going to be awesome. And I think we're going to be looking back at either the Ishii or Shingo matches as like one of the best matches of the tournament.
That's good.
Who else from AEW do you want to make next year's G1 Climax? I mean, there's so many people I'd love to have in the G1. Not a lot of realistic, unfortunately, but I mean, the number one for me is Danielson.
Let's do a realistic one.
Yeah.
I say Hollywood Jack Perry.
Is that realistic? I don't know if that's realistic.
Claudio's a good one. I think
Claudio would be great. That's actually a great answer. Is Claudio? Thank you, Laz.
What about
Drew McIntyre?
I wish. Roddy
would be good. Like Kyle O'Reilly. You could do
Roddy.
Yeah, those two. It would. Yeah. That's actually a good shout. Roddy or O'Reilly. Joe. I think you can do Joe.
Can Joe do a G1 anymore?
Oh yeah, Joe can do a G1. Takeshita's a great shout. He absolutely could do a G1.
I think he'll be too big. I think he might be too big of a star to do it at this time.
Takeshita? Nah. Well, yes. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I was thinking realistic.
Maybe I think he might be too big of a star in AEW.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking realistic, and when I think of realistic in terms of Takeshita, I think of like the DDT stuff. But yeah, in terms of his stardom, he might be a little too big. Brody King, I think, is possible. I don't love that. I think he's a little overrated.
But Darby series is really, carrying his
Yeah.
Laz, I'm gonna be honest with you. A Malachi Black G1 sounds terrible.
Okay, Murph hates Malachi.
I just hate the lore. I hate this lore. And there's no way
the G1 takes away from the lore.
With how that guy operates, he is going to try and do spooky shit in the G1. Don't tell me he wouldn't.
Yeah, I think out of somebody who
Black,
seems
like during the Cody feud, great wrestler, and like in NXT, great wrestler. But what's it called? Lore House of Black is my least favorite TV act in the world right now because they just do spooky dumb shit and it's WWE.
It's pretty stupid. It's pretty stupid.
When they fucking turned the lights off, I was done. That was my turning point when they started turning the lights off.
Out of a likely option, I think Claudio would be the best.
Claudio's the best option.
I do love the Roddy and O'Reilly shout too. I think that's good. Okay. Does Hikuleo stun the world and beat the champ on night one? I'm going to say no.
I don't see it.
I do think there is a chance, but I'm going to say no.
If it was anywhere but Hokkaido.
Right. It's in this hometown. And then often what they do, they almost never have the actual champ. Like, so if I don't think Sonata is necessarily winning his block, I mean, it's possible, but usually if you're not winning your block, you win your early matches. And because they always like to do it, like, keep the story going as it goes. So I'm going to say no.
I think he wins and does his like light thingy at the end of the match. Like that's and ends the show like that.
Okay. And then also from Adrian, over under on 5-star matches this G1. I'm pretty stingy with my 5-star.
3.
My litmus test is if a G1 has more than one 5-star match.
We'll go. I think she means Dave's 5-star. Like what Dave?
Well, Dave's 5-star is probably like 5.
I go 3.
But oh my god, my cat is trying.
I think the group's gonna have a lot less, and I think like the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, there'll be a lot.
Yeah. So my thought is just I usually go for I think for my ratings. I'm always hoping that the finals are 5 stars. And then if there's something else that reaches that level, which most years there isn't, frankly, I mean, that's just a bonus. That makes it a great G1. All right. I'm going to pause for 2 seconds. I'm going to ask you this question. Actually, no, my cat figured it out. Good job, cat. Open the door. Okay. From Dragon Master Adam, choose one match that would be the worst upset and one match that would be the best upset. The worst upset might be like
Inari over Takagi.
What? That wouldn't be the worst upset. That might happen.
Chase over Kaito.
Chase over Kaito. Chase over Sonata would probably be the worst upset.
Chase winning a match outside of out of Gabe Kidd would be terrible.
Yeah, I'm going to say Chase over Sonata. Pinning the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion would be the worst upset. And then the best upset...
ELP over Okada, easily for me.
Wow. I do not want that to happen. You good, bro?
I dropped my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Best upset. This is a fun one. I don't know. Who am I a big fan of? Until Tsuji's came back and was incredible. My favorite of all that, the young lions that were sort of out there at the same time, was always Ren Narita. I would love Ren Narita to beat Sonata and him be the King of Pro Wrestling Challenge. I think that would just be awesome. I love Ren Narita. I think he's a great wrestler.
I'm a big ELP fan, so ELP over Okada for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would prefer ELP beating Ospreay and giving us a US title match because they have insane chemistry.
That's a good shout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So okay. From Jansu, out of all the new debutantes in the G1, who's your dark horse for the tournament?
Coughlin.
That's interesting. I was going to say Kid. Kid is somebody who I think has incredible in-ring talent, kind of unmatched intensity in the ring, and I'm just waiting to see how protected he is, frankly.
I'm a big fan of Coughlin. I think has a lot of potential.
The android.
In 2021, he had one of my 3 favorite New Japan matches of the year with Josh Barnett.
Yeah. Love Josh. Yeah.
If you haven't seen that match, go back and look the New Japan Strong match between Alex Coughlin and Josh Barnett. It was awesome. Like insanely fun. So I'll say Alex Coughlin.
Let's see. Finally, do you think Ospreay's beaten Okada in the block?
Yes.
I do too. I do too. I think Ospreay's beaten Okada. Yep, that's gonna be my pick there. Okay, we have a couple super chats. $5 super chat from Pylons. This is a good question. I appreciate this. Who's the top name you want to see in the All-Star Junior Festival in the United States? Who we got? Who we thinking?
It's hard because as AEW guys gonna be like, it's hard to know who's gonna be in this.
I'm not holding my breath for any AEW guys. I think out of there's people who are obviously going to be a part of it, like Mike Bailey and
Austin,
Leo Rush, people like that, right? Outside of that, I would love to see. I mean, any luchador, but preferably Soberano again. He's just so good. Anytime I get Soberano against like actual opponents and not just like other luchadors that are worse than him, like that makes me happy.
I'll say, since it's in Philly and he's a local kid, book our pal Mookie Summers, in an undercard.
Mookie?
I'll say Mookie, and I'll also say Soberano. So there's a little 2-part for you.
I would also love to see the Motor City Machine Guns.
That's a great shout.
Alex Shelley's the Impact World Champ. Saban's the X Division Champ. It would just add prestige, and they're both former New Japan guys, so it makes sense. Anjan actually has a good answer for an AEW guy who could actually do it, which is Darius Martin.
Andretti.
Andretti, yeah. AR Fox. Just kind of all the people who kind of orbit in that sort of undercard circle, but sort of high flyers.
He'd be awesome, but he's not. Commander. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that's not.
I'm saying he's not, but that'd be awesome.
He's AAA, unfortunately. Okay. And I forgot, we're going to talk about a little AAA at the end of this show. And then we also have a super chat from Darren Kagi. $5. In a dream world where New Japan did a cross-promotional G1, what current all Japan women, I got what you were going for, Darren.
Yeah.
DDT, Big Japan, GLEAT guys, Greto, guys, would you want to see most?
I'll do one from each.
I'll do Keno.
Inamura.
Okay. Out of everybody on the roster, that's one of the more realistic ones, but yeah. All Japan.
Ayagi.
Kento. DDT. Higuchi.
Ueno.
That's a good pick. Big Japan. Okay. Unfortunately, Okabayashi.
Yeah, my answer's gone.
It would have been him. Outside of him, Nomura. Takuya Nomura. They also have like Yuya Aoki, Daichi Hashimoto, Kazumi Kikuta, Abdullah Kobayashi. Okay.
That'd be awesome. Abdullah Kobayashi would be awesome.
Abdullah Kobayashi. Just being.
Didn't he do something big in a different promotion, like in the last couple of years?
He was. So he started. So this is what happened. This is all Japan lore. All right. In like December 2021, he and some other Big Japan, or was it? It was somebody else who was like kind of hardcore inclined, but I don't remember if it was a Big Japan guy. Kept beating the shit out of Jake Lee, who was the Triple Crown champ, and they like made him bleed and stuff. And Kobayashi was going to challenge for the title, but then Jake Lee got injured by Kobayashi, ironically. And so they had to crown a new champion, which ended up being Kento, and then they still did the match against Kento. That match kind of sucked. It was easily the worst Kento match I've ever seen. like he can't do anything.
What about Glate?
Greto?
I don't think Gleat's gonna be around for the next G1. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's keep it real.
T-Hawk.
T-Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously T-Hawk.
If not T-Hawk, then what's his name?
Hayato Tamura. Would be cool. I mean, are you thinking of like Soma Watanabe?
I love Soma Watanabe. I love Soma Watanabe. Funny, I would say Yoshino.
Masato Yoshino. Yeah. I got you. That's a really fun question, Darren. I enjoyed doing that.
Is there anybody else from none of those promotions you'd want, Parker? Like, I'm trying to think.
Where else is there?
You didn't say DG.
I mean, Tanaka. Masato Tanaka is my. Oh, we skipped DDT, didn't we? Masato Tanaka is my.
No, he didn't say DG.
Oh wait.
Dragon.
Oh, DG. I got you.
I would say, for me,
the big boss.
Thank you. Yes.
No, it wouldn't. I love the big boss, but no, it would be. It would. even though he's a junior, like it's fucking Yamato for me. Or actually Shun. Frankly, at this point, Shun would be my
I think
number one.
Ben K and doing his chicky would get so over. Like,
that was a really good question, Darren. What other promotions are there? What else is there?
Ganbare, he just said, Darren.
Ganbare.
Tyson Meguchi.
Ganbare would be Mizuki Watase, without a doubt. I love him. He's great.
I love Tyson Meguchi.
Yeah. That tag match was so.
I can't. We got to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, we won't forget. We won't forget. Okay, finally, one more $1.99 super chat from Mavs Fan 84. Think we'll see Keno in a G1? He's awesome. Oh, wait, did I not? Sorry.
I'd love it.
I would love it too. Keno's my favorite Noah wrestler. I don't think we will. You never want to say never because it's wrestling and anything can happen, but he seems Noah through and through, but not in the sense of like where he's like a Marufuji, 7 years ago who does a tournament, or a Nakajima. He's just, I don't know. I just don't see it. He only does, well, that's not, see, up until this year, he only ever did
a Dragon Gate wrestler. Regular.
This year he's done Dragon Gate. He's done All Japan. He's obviously done a little bit of New Japan in there as well. So
you mentioned All Japan. Did you see Atsuki Ayagi's challenging for the Noah Junior Championship?
I did. I hope he wins it.
He's facing the worst wrestler in the world. So.
He needs to beat fucking Hayata. Hayata needs to retire. He's so bad. I'm gonna say no, Mavs fan, but I would love it so much.
No,
okay.
I don't think so.
Blue Keno in the G1. All right, let's move on a little bit.
They're fun.
Yeah, the super chats are great. They're so much fun to talk about. There's the question from Darren, especially. I thought that was such a fun question.
Great question.
What any final thoughts on the G1? I just love it.
It's gonna be awesome. It's the fucking G1 and it's open back again. So
final thoughts on the G1. This is what we're gonna do. We'll talk about the first weekend. How about that? This Saturday we have Yoshi. This is all Block B and Block A. Yoshihashi versus ELP, Gabe Kidd versus Chase Owens, Kenta. This is not a great start. This is a really kind of lame show, to be honest.
Kenta versus Tsuji is sweet.
Yeah, Kenta versus Tongaloa, Shota versus Ren. That's good.
I like that.
That's exciting. Okada versus Great Okan, first time matchup, if I recall correctly. Final three.
So I don't care.
Yeah, he's not my favorite. Final three matches are great though. Kaito versus Tsuji, Ospreay versus Taichi, and I shouldn't have said final three. Sonata versus Hikuleo is not great. I just always kind of assume that a New Japan G1 main event is going to be good, but that one probably won't be. What they'll do is they'll give Ospreay and Taichi 23 minutes or something, and and then the Sonata Hikuleo match will be 15 or something. But yeah, this one should be a ton of fun. And then Sunday we got Finley Ishii, Goto Yano. Goto's going to try to break the record for shortest G1 match. But I'm excited to see the hilarious way that Goto no-sells Yano's bullshit. Always my favorite Yano match of every G1.
Hinare versus I agree.
And yeah. Hinare versus Mikey Nichols. Coughlin versus Haste. Eddie Kingston versus Shingo is this weekend. That's exciting.
That's gonna be fun.
And then it's followed by another banger. These two have incredible chemistry. Tanahashi and Sabre. Tamatanga versus Evil is a good one too. I think just with the babyface heel dynamic.
And then my big upset.
And Tetsuya Naito versus Jeff Cobb in the main event should be really solid.
Okada ELP, but
no. Yeah. Naito versus Jeff Cobb in the main event. Solid. That's a bog standard.
It's a better
G1 show. Yep. And then
not every show can be that Osaka show from a couple years ago.
Right. That was insane. In the height of the pandemic, they're like, we're gonna make the show of the year. We're just gonna
the greatest G1 show ever in the quad pods. And
right. That was so okay. It was Cobb Ishii. It was Jay White versus Yujiro. Jay White versus Yujiro.
Wasn't it Suzuki Naito?
It was Suzuki Ibushi.
Right. Yes.
Jay White versus Yujiro was 4 minutes, and it was all just comedy. They got it over quick. I have the order too, and then it was Ospreay Taichi, and then it was Suzuki Ibushi, and then it was Okada Shingo in the main event. Incredible show.
Before that, the best G1 show was the 2017, the B block
Wait a minute.
final with Okada.
Wait a minute. Did you hear about this?
Ugh. No, no what? Fuck. I don't like
What?
that. That sucks.
I didn't hear about this. That's crazy. That's a
I don't like
big
that.
difference.
There's gonna be a lot of draws then.
There's gonna be some draws. Yeah, it feels like I sure hope. I mean, I will say the 5-star lowered the
Rossi
time limit
Ogawa
last
been
year.
in the Bushiroad's ear saying, "Give me more draws."
Well, maybe they saw the positive reception to the 5-star last year, which did have a shortened time limit, but they only did a few draws, and it still ended up
it's a
being
G1 though.
Yeah, I know. I love. Well, I will say, I've always wanted them to utilize the time limit a little bit more because it always feels like some of the best matches every year. Are the
I don't
ones
like
come
that.
close.
I have to be honest with you. I don't like that.
So no, I would prefer the 30-minute, but frankly, it doesn't affect that many matches,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
There's not, yeah. So anyway, and then finally, a week from today, we'll talk about this show as well because it will be the morning. Well, Jamie and I will. It is Kaito versus Owens.
Actually, there's a good chance I may be able to drop by.
All right.
I think my flight gets in at like 6:30. So if I race home, there's a chance I could get on. So there's actually a chance I'm on next week. So
Right.
don't mark me out.
Kenta versus Okan, Kid versus Hikuleo, Taichi versus Tongaloa. That's a pretty rough start to the show. But then we get some good ones. Tsuji versus Ren Narita, Osprey versus Yoshihashi, Sonata versus Shota. That's upset alert for Sonata for sure. And then another upset alert, Okada versus El Phantasmo in the main event. That would be huge to get ELP a main event victory over Okada. That'd be pretty crazy. Okay. That is going to do it for our G1 preview this year. We spent a good 45, 50 minutes on it. Really enjoyed it. I love the G1. You do too. I know everybody else in here loves the G1.
You're not a wrestling fan if you don't love the G1.
It's going to be great. By the way, I know that the New Japan site can be a little bit cumbersome at times. On the Dumb Guy Live Twitter page, I got rid of the spreadsheet because I was tired of doing star ratings. It was actually kind of affecting my enjoyment of watching wrestling. Was trying to ascribe a rating to something when it doesn't really reflect how I felt about it. So what I have done, I now have what I consider to be the best watch list / viewing guide for wrestling, specifically Puro and Joshi out there. Okay. If the people who've clicked on it, I think it's super well received. It really lays out the schedule well, just in a clear, simple text format that lets you know, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening on a specific day. So definitely check that out. Like I said, it's the pinned tweet on the Dumb Guy Live page, and it's worth it. It's worth checking out. It's what I use as my repository for everything I want to watch. And then I've started putting little comments on matches that I previously watched, so I'm not interfering with the future schedule of just how I liked it. So if you want, my condensed thoughts. I love it. I love the watch list just because I'm such a completionist, but there's just so much to keep track of that the watch list really helps me out. So
it helps me a good idea because now I can just look and see what I want to watch.
It gives me a good idea of what's going on any given weekend too. Like this Friday, there's 4 kind of intriguing matches on the GCW show, right? It's that kind of keeps things interesting. I know that there's King of Gate this Friday. So yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out, y'all. Thank you so much, IDK. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's move on to the part I've been waiting for.
This weekend saw Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling's Summer Sun Princess show from Ota Ward General Gymnasium. It drew about, I think, 1,200 to the show, something like that. They were outdrawn, by the way, by Stardom at Korakuen Hall the following night. All right, here's the deal.
This show fucking sucked. It was terrible. There was one good match. This was awful. It was if you look at where Tokyo Joshi Pro was 2 years ago and where it is now, oh my God. This show was so bad. I mean, this is a hot take. The border opening up ruined Tokyo Joshi Pro. It ruined it. Vert Vixen. Are you fucking kidding me? Sawyer Wreck. Miyu Yamashita, who's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, is facing Sawyer Wreck. Are you fucking kidding me? What are we doing here?
Come on.
You have I mean, let's look. Some great Shoko Nakajima's in a 3-way tag match with
No,
Maxian
see, all right.
Taylor and
I'm gonna
Palma
pause you right there.
Harajuku.
I'm gonna pause you right there because that match is the match that like fucking TJPW fans, that was like their second most looked forward to match on the show. They love fucking Palm and they love Misao and Raku, the epic
If
Raku
that's what you look
who
forward
sings
to,
people to sleep or whatever.
you don't like wrestling. You don't like
What
wrestling.
what's it called? The Lullaby Express? Is that what it is? Is that what Raku does?
Fuck me.
Sleepy Time Express. Anyway, I'm not gonna give.
Whole show. I did it. I said I wouldn't, but I did it. I did it.
Yeah,
For
I
Pete
watched.
Clark, 'cause
Yeah,
Pete-
you
Pete
did it
told
for
me
the
to.
pod. You did it for
It was
content.
it was awful.
Okay.
God.
We're not going to spend a ton of time on every match. Really, we're only going to spend extended time on the final two matches. But I'm going to run down the whole card and we'll give us a quick word. I thought the third best match on the show was the opener. This was Daisy Monkey, Suzume and Arisu Endo taking on Moka Miyamoto and
No, the
Juri
opener wasn't bad
Nagano.
at all. I actually liked the opener.
I love Suzume and Endo. I think they should be the tag champs.
I'm high on Juri and Nagano. I think there's something there.
She rides the line between sick and like kind of cringe to me, because when she does the karate stuff, it's like, all right, everyone,
her nurse karate like gimmick is, I think there's something there, and Mocha was just there, but I think Arisu, Endo, and Suzume are really good. I don't know why they're still in the fucking opener while Sawyer Rex and
it's TJPW. They don't push wrestlers. Okay. This was like an all rookies match, and also like the Cat was there, and also Mahiro Kiryu was there. I have nothing to say.
It was terrible.
How is
it? Mahiro Kiryu has been wrestling for how many years? Like 5, 6 years.
It's like her fourth or fifth year wrestling.
Yeah, and she still fucking sucks. So I mean, like, what are we doing here?
And also, she's in this match. Like, that tells you. We did have Asuka Veni and Yuki Kamifuku against Ryo Mizunami and Nao Kikuta.
This was good. I like this.
This is I think Kami is terrible. I think Kami is a terrible wrestler.
Ryo Mizunami's entrance always puts a smile on my face, and I think I really like Ryo Mizunami.
Yeah,
so.
she is legit a rock star. She's awesome. I would love to see her in more.
I don't know why she didn't get the Emma Sakura deal where she can just chill in AEW, make a living. I
don't know. But Asuka's great, obviously, and she did her thing here. Vert Vixen versus Hikari Noah for the Defy Women's Championship. You've got your head in your hands.
This was so bad. And I actually like Hikari Noah, but Vert Vixen. The first time I saw Vert Vixen before this, she was in an AEW dark match, teaming with like Maddie Rinkowski versus like it's probably Brandy and
I remember. Yeah, I definitely talked about her when I did my dark reports. That was.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, this was the worst match on the show. The 8-woman tag was the worst match on the show, but this was up there. The worst singles match on the show. Yeah,
and it has a 649.
Not much to say. I don't really like Hikari Noah, frankly.
I like Hikari Noah a lot, and it still sucked.
I think she's cool when she does the deathmatch stuff, but she has not really shown anything to me. 3-way tag. This was like all comedy shenanigans, stuff like that. We have all these like strange bedfellows teams between Shoko and Hype and Misao, Aja Kong and Raku and Max the Impaler and Palm Harajuku. I thought it was like pretty entertaining, actually, just as like comedy, but I don't give a shit. Like, that's not why I watch wrestling. I will forget about it in a week. Nyla Rose versus Mia Watanabe. I thought this was bad. I actually thought this was bad too.
I didn't think. I thought it was fine.
Mia she couldn't do the swing. She couldn't like do the swing on.
Do the swing.
Well, but then don't try to do the swing, Miu.
I wasn't as bothered by it as like the Vert Vixen match.
I get that it's Nyla Rose and she's like a mid carder in AEW, but like, it's Mia Watanabe. She pinned her in 8 minutes, and it's just no eyes to the future. Just Nyla Rose.
Keep it going.
Miyu Yamashita versus Sawyer Wreck.
Oh my god.
I actually did not think this was as bad as a lot of people did. I didn't think it was great or anything.
Sawyer Wreck is maybe one of the worst guys in considering that Rossi used to bring over Chardonnay and Mandy Leon. Sawyer Wreck is as bad as all of them. Sawyer Wreck, I don't understand where she comes from. She's GCW, right?
Yeah, GCW.
Well, she should stay there because she fucking sucks.
She does like deathmatch stuff.
Yeah, she should have gone to Freedom. So like 382 people should have
Yeah.
watched her in Corkin. Yeah, Sawyer Wreck. This was a promotion that had, Rika Tatsumi on main event shows, who's an amazing wrestler. Mia Watanabe, Miyu Yamashita, Mizuki, and you have fucking Sawyer Wreck in a in the fourth from the top. This was what are they doing with Miyu Yamashita when they have him with fucking Sawyer Wreck? Sawyer Wreck, I don't want to pile on her, but I feel like I already have. GCW blocked me because I called them out for booking a pervert, AJ Gray. So I'm blocked, but I don't see what happens in GCW anymore. But Sawyer Wreck fucking sucks, and I never need to see her wrestle again.
I will say that I have seen Sawyer Wreck in good matches. So I don't think this was like a full, but also this is not her scene, like TJPW, frankly. Like this is just not. Also, like Miyu Yamashita as the underdog is weird.
Why are you wasting your best wrestler in this match?
Deathblade said the same thing. Like, Miyu can't be an underdog. Like, you said it. She's easily, like, almost objectively the best wrestler in TJPW, and this is your third biggest show of the year.
It's like if they booked Kenny Omega versus like Danhausen in the fucking
it's like if they booked Kenny Omega against speaking of Madman Fulton from Impact. That's pretty good. It's funny because his name was also Sawyer when he was in
Sawyer Fulton
in NXT as part of
Kenny. Is right. Kenny versus Trench. That's a great
Trench.
Treat.
Okay, no. So I don't think Sawyer Wreck is as bad as a lot of people.
Well, I think she fucking sucks. Let's move on.
Okay. Third from the top, Neo Bishkigun, Saki-sama, and Mei Saint Michelle.
I didn't think this was that bad. I actually kind of like this.
Well, you're a Yuki Arai stan. This
is probably my first time seeing Wakana Uehara. I think she's pretty good
against Yuki Arai and Wakana Uehara.
There's something
Uehara. I don't have much to say about the match because I think Neo Bishkigun is fucking terrible.
This I didn't want to die during the Sawyer Wreck and Vert Vixen. Like this was fine. I thought this was pretty good. It was fine.
I think Wakana Uehara is very cute. She's very likable. But I think Yuki Arai is terrible. I think Yuki Arai is bad at wrestling, and I think Neo Bishkigun, despite being composed of really good wrestlers, is a terrible act that does not highlight what makes them so good.
I like the act, so we'll move on.
Well, I just think about it. For me, Saki Akai is an unbelievable.
When's she retiring?
Baby, very soon. And I don't know exactly. An unbelievable babyface in DDT. Mei Saruga is an awesome like little baby Tsukasa Fujimoto in Gato Move when she actually gets to wrestle in like rings and stuff and not on like a mat in a building. But this doesn't highlight them for me. Okay. Finally, I thought there were two really good matches on this show, and they were the final two. All right. The semi-main event for the International Princess title was Rika Tatsumi defending against Yuki Aino.
It was good.
I thought this match was really good. Obviously, people know that I am a huge Rika Tatsumi fan. I'm also a pretty big Yuki Aino fan, more than a lot of people are. And I love that she's changed things up over the last few months. She used to kind of not stand out at all as she was always a very talented in-ring wrestler.
This is weird to say, but her sister getting out of the business helped her a lot. Because her sister wasn't that good.
Well, I don't know that it did help her at first because they were tag champs together, and then she was kind of lost for a while.
Now, I mean, I think she's better without her. Is what I
yeah, and so my point is, she's changed her look. She doesn't really lean into like the princess stuff of the Tokyo Joshi Pro world. She's very much just like a straight shooter type wrestler, and I think that suits her so much better. There were some great struggles with the Dragon Sleeper in this match, and it really added some nice drama. I mean, I never really thought Yuki Aino was going to win this one, but I did enjoy the interplay between these two, and I think this was the best match of Aino's career.
I agree.
Unsurprising that it came against Rika Tatsumi, who is the second best wrestler on the roster.
She's awesome.
In the main event, this match is getting rave reviews, Murph. Mizuki successfully defended the Princess of Princess Championship
I thought it was very
against
good.
Maki Ito. Yeah, go
Very
for it.
good. I thought it was very good. I don't think it's as good as some people are saying. I think it's a bit overrated at this point. Like, what's it called? They gave it a 9-1. It has a 9-1-5 in cage match right now. It's more like a 7-2 for me, 7-3. I thought it was a very good match, but how do I say this? Mizuki is my favorite wrestler in Tokyo Joshi Pro. Her matches almost always hit for me. Maki Ito is gotten so much better and has shown a lot of strides, but she's not as good as some people are saying now. I thought it was a 4-star match. When I hate using ratings, but that's just I'm showing my thoughts.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like 5, like some people are saying. I thought it was a good 4-star match in the main event, but it wasn't a match of the year. Joshi Pro said it perfectly. I mean, it's not a match of the year.
Joshi Pro.
I tried to say it as good as I could, with the Portuguese accent, you know. The match of the year contender, it's not, but it was a good match. Yeah.
Coming off the previous big show that they had where it was Yuka Sakazaki and Mizuki, which I thought was one of the most baffling and strange and frankly disappointing main event matches in recent Japanese pro wrestling history. This was so much better than that. Ito, I know she's great. Like I think there are still people who still kind of think she's just kind of like a meme.
She's not.
No. She is a genuinely, in these spots, she's like a classic WWF like wrestler. She takes her time. She's not a spot fest. She tries to garner the emotion. She's very much a throwback in how she wrestles. I am lower on Mizuki than a lot of people. But I did think this match was very good. Good drama. They did sufficiently make me think, hey, maybe Ito could win this one. But Mizuki ended up getting the win and did retain. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought this was a very good main event. I did not think it didn't blow me away or anything like that either. And I thought Ito really made things great. But it's also like, I guess we have the Princess Cup coming, but like, where do we go from here with this company? Yuka's gone. All right. Ito's probably gone. Right. Saki Akai's gone. Miyu Yamashita's doing foreign stuff all the time. Shoko was champion for like 8 months last year. Like, what do they do? What do they do next? Are they going to push somebody finally?
Suzume or Arisu Endo, but they're in the opener.
Yeah, they won't. They won't do that. So along those lines, we'll talk about the Tokyo Princess Cup. I don't know if you have any sort of pulse on it, if you've even like seen the brackets or anything, but to me, it feels extremely likely like we're getting Miyu versus Miyu in the finals of the tournament
That'd be good.
To rematch off of their classic.
Hopefully, Miyu Watanabe wins this time.
If I was booking and then wins the title, if I was booking the company, that's what I'd do. But they have shown no inclination to actually do that. It was mind blowing when she even beat Miyu Yamashita once. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm actually gonna say they do it. I'm gonna say they do it.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna say Miyu Watanabe wins the Tokyo.
I agree with Josh Akira. I hope they go under and Rossi signs all the good wrestlers.
I'm not gonna say I want that to happen, but I'm also not gonna say I don't want that to happen. Okay. Before we close out on here, $5 super chat from Pylons. Rikatatsumi Supremacy. Yeah, you're with us. Pylons, you've had some good super chats today. We appreciate you. We appreciate you very much. And then Ken Chang. Should you be put on a list if you like Haruna Neko? Yes. You should be put on a list if you like the cat wrestler. It's bad. It's bad to like it. You're an adult. You shouldn't like those types of things, bro. Be like me. And like
FBI, open up.
Yeah. So okay. What's next? What do we want to talk about next? Should we just do a little wrap around, a little whip around here, kind of like what's that show, Around the Horn style? Do a little whip around on some and just sort of cover up some
what would our like counter be? How many points would, if it was Around the Horn? How many points would
I don't know. I feel like I usually anchor things, but you would have been getting lots of points during the during the start of the TJPW segment. He,
I was cooking.
Tony Rinaldi, was that his name? He would have been bumping up those points.
J.A. Adonde.
J.A. Adonde, Woody Page, all those types of people.
I was trying to say Sawyer Wreck in the most Brian Alvarez way. Sawyer Wreck.
Yeah, I got you. Sawyer Wreck. Yeah. So, Max the Impaler. He does a lot of yeah. what was Tatum Paxley.
Oba Femi.
Oro Mensa. Okay, let's move on from this. We have some exciting. Well, let's quickly talk a little bit about a Ganbare Pro who also ran OTA Award this weekend. I only want to talk about these final two matches.
Great.
And specifically the semi-main tag title match, Spirit of Ganbare tag titles. How awesome was this, Murph? Let me get the exact names because
I have it. It's Shuichi Katsumura and Takuya Wada, who I'd never seen before this, versus Hikaru Sato, who's awesome, and Tyson Meguchi, who's awesome. Their team is actually called the Hentai Punch Drunkers.
Yes.
This match was amazing. Like, to me, this was way better than the Tokyo Joshi Pro main event, in my opinion.
Yes. I thought this was so much better. Yeah. This match was awesome, intense. All four of these guys have like a shoot style MMA background. And so I think everybody in this match has specifically a kickboxing background. So that just made it so exciting. Great wrestling all around on this one.
This was
best
awesome
match out of the two DDT adjacent OTA Award shows this weekend. This was the best match on either show.
I don't like Ganbare Pro. I think it's a dumb promotion, but this match was awesome.
I love their big shows because they always have hot crowds and the wrestlers really are motivated to be as good as they can. Couple other things I want to talk about here. I thought the Joshi tag on this one, Mio Momono and Takumi Aroha against Yuri and Tomoka Inaba was really solid.
Fan of the show.
Yeah, both Yuri and Yuna Manase liked my tweet about this match being good.
I love Tomoka Inaba. I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
I think she's tremendous.
Main event was Mizuki Watase and Isami Kodaka.
Great too.
One half of Yankee 2 Kenju won the Spirit of Ganbare openweight title. I'm such a fan of Mizuki Watase. I want him to be an All Japan regular. Yeah. He's sort of in and out on All Japan. He'll come because he's good friends with Naoya Nomura. They just need to be full-timers there, man. Like, he's so good. Do you remember, and I'm sure you do, because we're both pilled like this, he was in the pre-show match, like the curtain jerker at, I think, Cyber Fight Fest. Either that or like
it was Watase and Okatani versus
but he had incredible interactions with who? Do you remember?
Milwaukee?
Yusuke Okada.
Right.
I think it was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, because they were fighting because he was in the June group and Okada came in as June's buddy, and they had
it looked like they made it seem like they had like legit heat, and it was just so physical. They were slapping the shit out of each other.
Oh my god, I remember that awesome. So well. Yes.
Yeah. So this is pretty funny. Woody Page once sent me a very rude email my senior year of high school when I asked him questions about being a sports writer for my English class. That's not very nice. Oh, Woody Page. You never meet your idols, folks, unless they're Ninja Mac. But yeah, I enjoyed this Ganbare show. I thought it was the superior show of the two. El Lindemann versus Yumehito Imanari, by the way, was a really solid singles match as well. Let's see. A couple things. Let's talk Noah briefly. All right. We got an exciting match coming up this weekend, but first let's did you watch the Noah show from this weekend at all?
I did not know.
Okay, I'll just quickly go over it. I watched the final couple matches right before the show tonight. Ihode Dr. Wagner Jr. defended the national title against Amakusa. It was classic big man versus little man. I mean, Wagner just good. Yeah, he just beat the shit out of this guy. I mean, he was pounding on him. Amakusa got like 10% of the match, but what he did get was great. You know, the dives and the roll ups and everything.
It's insane.
I know. It's crazy. They're actually pushing an actual like normal age.
He's held the belt for 244 days.
This is like one of the longest reigns in the title's history.
Uh,
So yeah,
it's second behind Funaki.
I thought this match was really good. And then the main event, we got the first look at Keno outside of Congo. He teamed with Kaito Kiyomiya against his former stablemate Manabu Soya and Daiki Inaba. This was a good, a classic Noah formula, like slow burn, main event tag, very patient, and then it gets going towards the end where they're trading big suplexes and everything. Keno and Kaito hit a cool double team at the end, which I thought was a lot of fun. Keno might be my pick to win the N1 this year. He's
Before we move on,
he hasn't challenged Jake Lee. Anyway, go ahead.
before we move on, can I touch on this Masaki Mochizuki show real quick? There was
let's quickly talk about the Noah match we got coming up this weekend.
Okay, right.
Massive singles match in terms of interpromotional singles matches. Katsuhiko
NK
Nakajima.
Office collide.
Yes, this is the chosen son and the scorned son of Kinsuke Sasaki going at it. Katsuhiko Nakajima and Kento Miyahara, who have had intertwined careers nearly parallel to each other, now in different promotions, of course. Oh my god, and also no time limit. No time limit. There is going to be a finish. Someone's going to win this match. I'm so
This match is going to be unbelievable.
I'm so excited to see how Kento does obviously we've seen him in like All Together and places like that where he's able to be really popular because he is very popular, right? And get good crowd reactions. This is a Noah show. This is pro wrestling Noah. So now I will say Cork and Hall All Japan shows. They have such hot crowds. So maybe he gets it anyway. But there's some other interesting stuff on the show. There's like Jimmy Wang Yang is on this show. What the fuck else? Yeah, we're getting a debut. New young boy, Yu Owada. And then a big time tag match, Jake Lee and Keno against Go Shiozaki and Wagner, which should be, that's a big heavyweight match, big preview for that. So let's go. Let's talk about Buyuden a little bit. What do you got to say?
You need to watch this show for the opener. It was Masaki Mochizuki
it was
and Yamato
so much fun
versus Fuminori Abe and Munenori Sawa. It was awesome. It was so much fun. He's Lingerie Muto, if you wanted to know. Like that's
Lingerie Muto. Yeah.
But it was awesome. So much fun. You need to watch this opener. It was tremendous. Fuminori Abe with Dragon Gate wrestlers is like amazing.
There was, and then of course, Lingerie Muto, or actually no, he didn't. For a second, I was thinking he won the Awara Gate Championship, but that was Kikutaro.
No, it was Kikutaro. Sucks, but the Dragon Gate Comedy Belt is back. The Awara Gate Championship, which actually Shingo Takagi was the main focus of that for the longest time. The Kikutaro won. I haven't seen Kikutaro since he did the pervert gimmick in Stardom, and I'm happy I took so long. It wasn't.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. But yeah, there was some really fun interactions here on this show. It was, we had Shimizu and Masa Kitamiya in the same match. We had D Courage up against some Michinoku Pro guys.
Tanaka versus Susumu Mochizuki.
Right, Tanaka in there against M3K was really great. So yeah, this is just a super fun. If you love just Puro in general, especially if you have like an inclination to Dragon Gate or just fun, fun stuff that you don't get to see all the time. Like this is a show worth checking out.
And also Daiki Inaguchi's performance in that 6-man was awesome. I'm so high on him. He's my favorite of the young guys right now. He's so good.
King of Gate is continuing as well. Day 2 was nothing to write home about. I haven't watched day 3 yet, but day 1
was awesome.
I thought you preferred the main event, which was Kikuta versus Mochizuki.
Awesome.
I thought Shun versus Big Boss Shimizu was just great. Awesome heel versus babyface dynamics. Maybe I'm partial to it because I love both of those wrestlers, but pinning Shun's a big fucking deal.
Shimizu
Big Boss was able to do it.
He needed it so bad.
Yeah. I would love for Shimizu to win this tournament.
And then the main event was Masaki Mochizuki and Madoka Kikita, and it was tremendous. In my opinion, I loved it. Madoka Kikita won after some crazy lariats, like his disc lariats. It was tremendous. Oh, I loved it. But also on the show we had Diamante. Saying
Yes,
Diamante's
this was a great. Thank you for sharing it. That was a great segment.
Diamante and Ultimo Dragon came out, and Diamante Unmasked. He's Luis Mesa is his real name. That's a custom. I don't know what name he's going by when he comes back. I think
I don't get why people are under the impression he's going to go by Luis Mesa. Like, the convention is you keep your name, you keep your ring name.
The only person I know that changed was what's it called? Dr. Wagner. He was Ray Wagner for a while.
Yeah, but I mean that's still like his name. Like, it's still Wagner, right?
But what's it called? He's gonna go back to Mexico for a while, but he says it will be back.
Oh, he'll be back.
Dragon Gate is his home, and people in the company think he'll be back, so he will be back. So
he's gonna win the world title at some point.
I think so.
He's.
But but it was very good, and it was a great continuation on from Kobe World.
From Kobe World, yeah, for sure. Okay, I don't think there's all that much else to talk about for this upcoming weekend in the Puro World. However, there is one big show. If you recall, we're not just a Puro show, everybody.
We touch on Lucha.
We're a Lucha show as well. If it was good, we'd only be a Lucha show, but it's often not good. We have TripleMania.
Me and P's favorite wrestling is Lucha. It's both of our favorite wrestling. So
we have TripleMania 31 in Tijuana from AAA this weekend, main evented by, yes, we're finally getting it in Mexico, Hijo del Vikingo versus Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega Championship. Are you kidding me?
Go.
Let's fucking go. This is crazy because it is like, is Vikingo just gonna like pin Omega? Like, beat him clean?
And he's got blood and guts next week. I mean, it's like
if he does, oh man, he should, and then they should. Oh wait, no, never mind. For a second, I thought they were trios champs still.
No,
but anyway, this is so much fun.
I wish, considering who the trios champs are now. Right. But yes,
this is a great match. It's gonna be stellar.
It's like one of those matches that's like 4.75 the floor.
Right.
And big Vikingo main events are always, amazing.
Yeah.
Remember that 6-way they had last year?
Oh, of course I do. Yeah. I think it was 2 years ago, but yeah. Maybe it was just last year. I don't recall. Anyway, the other notable stuff on this show, the only other really notable
this match
one
happening?
Which match?
This match in the that's the main event. Like, didn't Roosh leave? Is Roosh wrestling?
Yes, this match is happening. Yes. LA Park and Roosh are taking on Psycho Clown and Sam Adonis. And I can't remember the rules around this, but if I recall, either the winner or the loser of this match will face each other in an Apuesta match. The losers of this match will then face each other in an Apuesta match. So Psycho Clown is going to get pinned in this match. He's going to get pinned probably by LA Park. And then he is going to take Sam Adonis's hair at the third.
Which is a shame, because Roosh versus LA Park, Mask versus Mask in the main event of TripleMania would probably be like the greatest match of all time.
It'd be incredible. It'd be so fucking good.
It would be the biggest. It would be the biggest since Wagner and Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would just be
huge.
Imagine that match. Oh my god.
I mean, the only thing is just because Roosh is already unmasked, like it's gonna be like there's not like LA Park is never losing that mask, right? So it's like
a little bit AEW will not want Roosh bald.
So right, yeah. So anyway, they are doing So that is how it's going to happen. Psycho Clown will lose in this match, and then he is going to subsequently take Sam Adonis's hair in a couple months.
There's one more notable match on the show.
Are you going to say Penta versus QT Marshall?
Pentagon versus QTV in an ambulance match. This will be
I didn't catch that this was an ambulance match.
It's an ambulance match.
Wow.
It's really going to be awesome.
This is going to be, it could be really good. It could be fucking terrible.
I love ambulance matches.
What if I really hope that all of QT's shitters are going to be there.
Harley Cameron
Solo and Cole Carter and all those.
I mean, John Hannigan is probably he's usually.
Oh yeah, Johnny Caballero. He'll be down there as well.
That's like wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah. Because he's obviously done tons of AAA stuff in the past. Yeah, but I mean, it's all about the last two matches and specifically the main event here today. It's going to be so good. How do I watch this show? It is going to be on Fight TV, I believe, and I will be buying this show.
It'll be on Fight TV with Larry Dallas and Joe Dombrowski.
Yep, it's going to be some of the worst commentary you've ever heard in your life. Yeah, you'll be. I might stream this in the Discord. Maybe I'll stream this.
I would just listen with Hugo. Hugo's the man.
Oh yeah. You always turn on the Spanish commentary for this. But yeah, that's the other that's all the big stuff. We have we got Sendai Girls at Korakuen. We got Great is doing a preview show for their Real Goku show, but that's the big stuff. So I think it's that time, everybody. It is the time of the week. Actually, before we do that, quickly, super chats. We have just the one. Okay, $5 super chat from Anwar Starwind. Another fun episode of DGL. Thank you so much. I figured this might be the plan. We're gonna do our segment that I have to click over and find the graphic for every week. Beast of the week, as in every week, right? This is it. This is the beast of the week. What? He's here.
He's in a bathroom.
Just in time. I'm in the
He's
bathroom.
in the bathroom. He's in Spain. Hola, amigo. ¿Qué pasa?
Should I just like get? No.
You're so echoey.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's fine.
To see Jamie. Is here.
Yeah, it's fine. Jamie, do you have a beast of the week?
So yeah, I do. So I've not seen much.
What's our collective?
Oh, God.
Well, let's hear what Jamie has to say. Let's just hear what Jamie has to say.
So I've not seen much wrestling this week, obviously, being away. What I did catch was New Japan Independence Day Night 2. So my beast of the week. The match wasn't anything like incredible, but the moment definitely was. My beast of the week's Eddie Kingston, the New Japan Strong openweight champion. Just because, it's Eddie Kingston winning a championship in Japan in Korakuen Hall. Great moment with Homicide, and you love to see it.
Love it. Great choice. There are a lot of people I could go for this past week. It was a good week for wrestling. But I'm gonna go. I thought the best match I watched all week happened in AEW, and I thought it was on Collision. I thought that tag title match was just so freaking good. One of the best TV tag matches I've seen in a long time. And I thought the best wrestler in that match was Switchblade Jay White. I thought he just killed it Juice in that match. Not Juice. I thought the best wrestler in that match was Switchblade Jay White. I thought he just killed it. He's just like TV Jay White. We're getting some of those ROH vibes that we got while he was a young lion, while also keeping the great Switchblade character. And it's just, I think this is the best he's ever been. So Switchblade Jay White for me. Murph, what crazy thing are you going to say?
This was tough.
Metaphysical concepts.
A lot of contenders. Daniel Ricciardo getting his seat back and getting Nick DeVries out of there was great, but he's not the beast of the week. Jun Kasai, I almost brought back the wrestling because Jun Kasai was so awesome. His entrance, there were these guys in the crowd that were just screaming, going crazy. It made me so happy. I didn't. My beast of the week is a very broad group. My beast of the week is the American public who has Nielsen boxes who did not tune in to AW Collision.
They improved on their rating by like 100,000.
Yeah, but he's still half mil Phil. So my beast of the week are the people of America with cable boxes. So that's gonna be a tough one for Jamie to do the tweet for. It's just probably just gonna have to be a fucking cable box. He's just gonna take a picture of a cable box. And all the Americans. And it's the people of America who are not feeding in the half mil Phil in his tyranny. So half mil Phil will live
Jamie,
on.
You still have to do the tweet. I'm not doing the tweet that announces.
I'm gonna do it all right.
But it's the wording.
I will never do that tweet.
My beast of the week is the American people with cable boxes. Because
with Nielsen cable boxes.
Just any it's fun. And because fuck Collision and fuck half mil Phil. Let's go, baby.
I was one of the 3 mil who tuned into the trial of Roman Reigns this past week.
Those are beasts. I
It was
mean,
great. I think our collective. So here's what I'm thinking for collective. I know we all love the New Japan Independence shows. Additionally, there was a big time match
I thought
announced.
you could say Jey Uso because he's my. I would give it to him.
No. He doesn't. He didn't. That segment sucked, dude. The other we all love the independent shows, and they also announced a big time match in the wake of those, which was in Freedoms. We are getting Jun Kasai and El Desperado wrestling together once more. And I think that they collectively were. You can include Mox, but I think we've given Mox plenty of love on this show. So I'm gonna say Jun Kasai and El Desperado should be our collective beasts of the week because they're kind of intertwined. How's that go?
Perfect.
Love it.
All right, awesome. Well, everybody, this time next week we will have a ton of G1 to talk about. We'll be updating you on King of Gate and on fucking Tokyo Joshi Pro Princess Cup. There's also we'll also preview DDT Wrestle Peter Pan next week. Looking forward to that. So, and we'll also talk about Omega Vikingo, of course. So for Jamie and Murph, Jamie, we're so glad that you stopped by.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you all so much who gave us super chats. This was a really fun show. It's G1 season, everybody. And yes, this has been Dumb Guy Live. Thank you all for watching. Stay dumb.